What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the West Coast. And immediately there's something very different here. We've had a bit of a change up, and I believe it's a change up for the good, specifically for my channel here and the content we'll be able to produce for you guys. So as you can see here, this little guy here will give it all away. We are now let's just say operating a little bit differently here, so we are able to incorporate a lot more machinery, many different manufacturers, including Claas and obviously John Deere. So with that in mind, we've made a few little tweaks and changes to our farming operation here. One of the most notable ones is I've traded the Massey Ferguson combine in for this 740 Lexan TerraTrack. A V900 Vario header on there, sorry, which would be more than enough for what we would like today. There's been quite a few differences with the farm as well, so we're going to have a quick look at those. As the keen-eyed amongst you might notice, we're actually we're not in our usual farmyard right now. We are over at Little Woolhope, so we've got a lot of new changes and a lot of explanation to do. So here we go to start with. You can see we've got brought some green into the family. We've got a 7530 John Deere here, and then I've kept the Massey, but this is a little bit different. The more realistic model here on the 7724, so we end up a little bit of horsepower as well, but I like the Massey, so we kept her in. Now what I'm going to do is going to jump back into the pickup truck, because I want to go and show you around. There's been a few changes in terms of the land we have. We have ended our tenancy for the land up in the north. That tenancy was running out after we finished our harvest. So we finished the harvest off, and then once that harvest was finished, I can't see anything through there. Once the harvest was finished, we ended our tenancy there. We didn't take it back up because the rates were just going to be too astronomical to kind of justify that. So I'm going to leave you here for now. So with that in mind, we were looking for some more land, and luckily enough we were able to find some, and we've been able to find quite a bit more land in and around the region of Little Woolhope here. So, which is good news. It means we're keeping ourselves a little bit more condensed as a farming operation. We've got a little bit more land than we had previously, which is also very good. So what we'll have a look see here, I'm just going to bring up the map, for example. Right now you can see a lot of the land surrounding Little Woolhope we now have. We have a lot of the village of Little Woolhope has a lot of larger fields around it, of which we predominantly lease them all. Everything 35, 39, 40, 48, 49 are all leased, with all the land around the farm here has actually been acquired by us as well. Over to the west of the West Coast there, we can see we still have the same fields we did previously. They're still being farmed, they're still under our ownership, so there's nothing changed there. But for now, what we're going to do, we're going to jump back into our truck here, and we're going to head on over to River Rock Farm, and we're going to have a look through and see how everything's getting on over there. We have the same head of sheep as we did previously, but what we do need to do is actually go and feed those guys up, because at the moment we are in spring, as it says in the top right corner of seasons. And there's little grass growing at the moment, so we need to. I bought some haylage just to make us operational, really. So we have a lorry load of haylage coming very shortly. Once that arrives, we'll need to we need to feed our sheep up just so we don't lose any. They've got plenty of water at the moment already, but we just need to make sure they're all fed up. I need to make sure I can manage this pickup truck properly. There we go. So yeah, like I say, we're going to head on over to the yard there, we'll get them all fed up, and we'll kind of have a run through of what else we're operating with, really. So as you can see there, we are operating on a different platform here, so hopefully it's going to allow us to introduce a lot more content with a little bit more variation and diversity as well, which is also always very good news. We're going to there's a lot more mods coming out recently as well, which I want to really implement where possible, but still trying to keep it realistic to the farming practice here, which I think is very important. Head all the way up this hill. So like I say, the field on the right we have there, the field on the left we own, and this field straight ahead as well. Everything was left fallow over the winter, so we're going to have to really gear up our spring sowing. We won't be putting it all in, we might put a lot into cover crop for now just to make sure it's in and we can get some benefit from it. And like I said, yeah, there's lots to do, and the good news about doing it this way, at least we don't have unwanted crops and fields really, so we can work ourselves around that. Oh, didn't see you there, sir. There you go. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to head on up and over to the River Rat Farm, and I'll come back to you when we're in the yard there. Alright, and as you can see, our load has arrived, which is good news. We can get that unloaded pretty quickly. As you remember, last time we did have the Merlot here, but we've changed it up a little bit. Stop us there. This puppy, as I'm sure many of you have seen, is the Claas Scorpion 7055. I was looking for something a bit different, a little bit of a change, as were many people actually. Now, this is a great mod. This really is a great loader. So I took the opportunity to jump into this. And so what we're going to do now, we're not going to unload all of that hay there. We're just going to quickly feed up the cattle, the sheep there. They've got plenty of water. We just need to give them a couple of bales of hay to get going, and then we'll be able to proceed with the rest of our plans really. There's a few machines we need to go and get down by the store still, so we might go and pick those up. But first of all, let's just get this load unfastened. Okay then guys, that was a big cut up there, but we have managed to get some hay into the trough here for the sheep. That'll keep them going for a little while. That's the main thing I was concerned about. Now the eagle-eyed monks, you might figure out that we've got a different machine here on the front. What we actually have is the we have the DLC from Aerosoft installed, the Crone DLC, as I'm going to refer to it as. So that's good news. We will be implementing that in many different ways. There's a few different proposals I have in mind, so we'll see how that one goes in the distant future, or not too distant future. But for now, we're going to leave these sheep just to crack on. I'm going to get back in and park up our telehandler for now. We will get those unloaded very shortly, but I'm not going to bore you with those too much at this stage. What I do want to do is jump back into our truck here. We're just going to take the truck down to the store. There's a few more things I want to pick up from down at the bottom, down at the dealership there. I've got the old fence down there still. We did keep hold of that. It's had a little bit of a facelift, but we've still got it. And there's a few other bits and pieces we'll have a look at whilst we're down there. So we're going to head on over. This drive won't take too long, but either way, it's a drive that we've just done. So I'm going to just head on down there, and I'll see you down at the store. Alrighty then guys, we are back here. Just park that out of the way for now. We'll get someone to come and drop me off later on to pick the truck up, I think. So there's the fence. We have the fertilizer spinner on the back. We've got a lot of fertilizer we need to get applied onto the ground very shortly actually. We have one of our chieftain trailers still there. The other one is over at the other yard, so we'll keep hold of those. And then we have this monster. As you can well see, this is the Chrome Big Pack, and what a machine it is. Look at that. I've decided to go for a new baler. We are going to be looking into implementing a lot more of our selling of straw. Now, as you may recall from earlier on in our series, we were selling a lot to local dairy farmers. Now we're going to expand that a little bit. We are going to still maintain our contracts with our dairy farmers. We wouldn't affect that, but we're also going to implement new contracts as well, and I'll get into that a little bit more in the future as and when we can. But this baler is, I think, a beauty. It's a real machine, and we'll be able to increase our output significantly. We have our rollers here still yet to pick those bad boys up, and we also have a couple of herons. We traded in the Smiths, and just for these fantastic models from CD Models. They really are something special. So we went for something a little bit different there, which I'll be very I'm very excited about using actually in the not too distant future. So we will leave these ones here for now. We're going to take the fence back up. As you may see, this fence had a bit of a facelift. We've got front linkage on it, and there's a little bit more horsepower bumped into there. It's a great mod. This is the 900 variant, our favourite, sorry, the 926 model we have here. Let's put that down. And we'll just get this cranked up and we'll get away. Lift up the spinner. So yeah, we do have a lot of nitrogen we need to put down onto the grasslands here. We need to make a second crop of silage and hay. We might make a bit of silage to sell as well. Predominantly we'll just need hay. So we'll figure that one out and we'll get it done as soon as possible. But we have lots to do. Now the main purpose of this video really was just to let you know what was happening. There's going to be a lot of changes coming up in the not too distant future over the course of the next week or so with all of the current series we're operating on, so keep an eye out for that. We might even bring a new one in, we'll just depend how we go. But yeah, certainly look out for Cobra. That's going to be changing for the better in my opinion. I've already got the preliminary changes made there, so that's going to be interesting. So without further ado, keep an eye on what's going on. Also ignore the creative tool and the creative money. That will be removed as soon as I'm happy with how the setup is completed. Right now we're keeping it at the basic really. The game will be progressing as much to resemble the initial setup. So we'll see how that one goes. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to getting that one complete. So yeah, keep an eye on it for the future moving forward there. We will get a lot more changes coming in. For now I'm going to get away with some fertilizer spreading, I believe. Okay, so just before I go out fertilizer spreading here, we're just going to have a little bit more of a rundown really on what's going on. We're going to try and resemble the existing series we've had going here. So as you can see when we have a look at the sheep, for example, right now we have 60 head of sheep again. With a productivity rate of 74% at the moment, which is great. They are full to the brim of grass, which is good news, and they've got plenty to go off. So it's going to be about, it's going to be the best part of a month or two before we can get any new hay cut for them. So they'll have to hang on with what we've got for now, which I'm sure they will. But we will be looking to increase that head of sheep as well. We won't be having any cattle on this series. Again, we'll be keeping that primarily to to Cobra Park Farm, and that one is going to be kicking off very shortly as well. So we will be able to get everything going on that regard. So hopefully you're going to see a little bit more variation here. I'm excited about the changes to the channel. I really am. It's going to allow us to do a lot. Also keep an eye out for various different programs and content coming from a lot of different genres, so that's going to be interesting. It's going to keep me occupied and hopefully keep you entertained as well. That's the end goal here of it all. So yeah, thank you very much for watching at this stage. This has been a bit of a short, messed up video, but it's just kind of giving you an oversight of some of the changes that are coming in into the channel. So, I hope you have enjoyed it, and we'll get back into the swing of it over the weekend into next week. So, once again, if you are excited about what you've seen today and what's going to come up, then don't forget to hit that like button and smash that subscribe. I have been Simulation for the Nation. You've been fantastic for watching, and until next time, stay safe, enjoy what you're doing, but most importantly, happy farming.